what's up?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the program.
Test. This is a test, and we're testing.
All right, we're going behind the scenes here with natural selection champion until potentially this week. But Mike, do you think you're going to go back to back?
I'd like to try, Jody. We'll see. You never know.
I mean, he's amazing. I've been snowboarding with Mike a lot, and he could potentially go back to back. But we're going to kick this off with favorite natural selection moment.
Oh, that one's easy. When Mikkel did the front five to half cab. Watching that live was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Correct answer. One of my favorites. Absolutely amazing. In Alaska?
Valdez, Alaska. And I just remember being like the switch toe side turn into the half cab. Yeah. Let's recreate those moments. That was fucking special.
Nice pick. Best style currently and back in the day.
Currently, Mikkel. Let's see if I can think of someone else that's got really good style. Severin has got really good style. I like Sevy's style in this event. Back in the day, JP Solberg.
Mike, you're knocking this out of the park. Okay, 10% rule, yes or no?
Yeah, always. I'm in. I think I spent like $1,300 at the bar last year, but that was enough. That wasn't enough, I don't think. No.
Well, the Rivian's 130 grand, so 10% would be about 13 grand.
So I did what, 5%?
1%. Yeah, that's 1%. Yeah, you got nine grand to spend this year.
Oh God.
Okay, does Dustin Craven have an advantage because he worked on the course all year?
Oof. I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, I think too he's very comfortable around here. I rode with him today, and I was like, oh yeah, this is his zone.
Who do you have winning men and women's?
I'm gonna go Estelle for women's. I just have a feeling she's gonna lock into something, find it. Men, Jared's looking strong out there. Maybe BMO as a wild card in there. Brandon Davis, always good. There's so many good riders. Yeah, that's three that come to mind right away.
Mike, you're an absolute legend. Thank you. And we hope you kill it out there. Thanks. Enjoy, brother. Any last words?
Live it up.
Live it up, people. Okay, who am I here with?
You are here with Jody Wachniak, who is a now proud owner of a child, also known as a dog. A lot of responsibility. I'm actually surprised you were able to get your shit together and make it all the way out to Revelstoke. So we're thrilled.
And I'm here with Travis Rice. Highlight from natural selection over the years.
I don't know. I have a son. I have a daughter.
Congratulations on being a father. I thought maybe you would say maybe like one of your wins or like Gigi's front seven.
I was going to go off on a tangent, but I don't think it was the type of answer you were looking for there. I realized halfway through, so that was a bit of a pump fake. Sorry about that. I mean, how about Rasmund's first run in Alaska? Gab just like nailing that shot. I wasn't there for that one. I was supporting my lady and having our child, but that was a highlight moment for me. Gigi's front seven naturally was a highlight moment. Let's see, beating Jared Elston in the semifinals in Alaska last year, huge highlight moment for me. I'm still waiting for his day. He's coming for retribution. Maybe it's going to be on finals day. Let's see, a couple others. Dude, Zoe, year 1 AK. Also, she did like a front three that I just was real pumped on up in AK. Elena Hight's method in Jackson. She actually had a really good one in AK too. I don't know. We could keep going. There's a lot of highlight moments.
It was just one favorite, but you went on a nice tangent there.
I fully recommend, if you're looking for some of these moments in full form, you should go back and watch every one of our events in total length in one sit down.
I like to watch them in slow-mo so I don't miss anything.
That's how you know so much.
Okay, favorite style back in the day and currently?
Brody Dowell, backside rodeos. Predating Peter Line. Jamie Lynn methods and just his like overall approach. Axel Paporte, straight lines in Alaska. Very proud and profound approach. Jonas Emery, front flips in stadiums. He had like a cartwheel flip. It was like a front flip, but he'd land switch. It was like I don't think I've ever seen anyone else do them.
I don't think I've seen that clip.
Hinkley, lawn darting in slow motion on 16 millimeter film.
Kayaking off of cliffs.
Kazoo and Stronger, that was like a long time ago. That was back when he was still considering doing a contest of ours.
Kazu, if you're listening to this, you should still reconsider. You actually made the wrong decision by not coming. We're all big fans, but get here. Your snowboarding would be awesome, and we all miss you.
Yeah, you should sacrifice that quality family time. Come on over.
Okay, this is a personal question because we have you here, and we've talked about this at length on the podcast, but you've never been on the podcast. So it's just speculation with me and people who were at this event, Super Park. When you did the backside rodeo, how many tries to get that back rodeo that put you on the map?
That was a one and done. Fuck off. No, that was a one and done.
And you just landed in the sweet spot.
No, well, so I hit it a few times before that. The back rodeo trick was a one and done. I'm trying to remember if it was a back three or a straight air to try it to air it out first. I think I probably hit the thing 2 or 3 times before the back rodeo.
Was that one of the more stressful park features you've ever hit?
Yeah, because it sucked. It was not built for that. Like the compression going into it was built for like a 30-foot hip.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then there was one other rider there who was considering it, which I was sitting there. I'd been looking at it for days, and I was sitting down, like looking at it that evening. Session was going on, and like on a kind of a right side hip, Abe Teeter was like over there just freaking trying to break his snowboard in midair, and me and this other kid were like we're eyeing it up, and I kind of saw that he was eyeing it up too, and we were both looking at it. I definitely held back for a minute and was like, "What do you think?" Da-da-da. And I definitely intentionally let him give it the guinea, which respect, ultimate respect. He came up a little short. It was just a trippy jump. Like it wasn't really built for that, but it had a landing. Whatever, hit it a few times, somehow sustained it. I think I did a backside 180 on it too.
That's an incredible shot. I'm probably going to share that somewhere in here.
I think it was back 3, back 1, back rodeo.
One and done back rodeo, Travis Rice, the absolute GOAT.
Which, if you actually play the clip, like, it's a survival back rodeo. Like, it's like barely grabbed, and then it's just going through the air, just like, slow down, do not over-rotate.
What year was that?
2001, probably?
24 years ago, kids. What you're doing is not that impressive. Should the 10% rule live on?
100%. I give people shit all the time for it because it's something that I probably sacrificed a lot of my life savings to the 10% rule. I mean, if you 10% isn't 10% when you start to consider taxes. It's compounding, so it's actually ends up a lot more than 10% after taxes. But I give riders shit when they. I mean, everyone's pretty healthy these days. Like people aren't really, you know. We're just in a different.
You hear that, Mike? That Rivian was 130 grand Canadian. So we'll taxes, we'll buffer that to about 100,000. You said you spent $1,300 last year. So we'll do 10%. That's 10 grand. So you are $8,700 shy. Should Mikey Ciccarelli cough up that at this year's natural selection?
100%.
That's 100%. That's 100% stamp from Travis to. So we're expecting one hell of a party on Saturday or Sunday. Sorry, Mike. I don't know what to tell you, buddy. Does Dustin Craven hold an advantage because he built the course all summer?
If he doesn't, then he's an idiot. He better have an advantage. I mean, look, there's no doubt about it. If you know, you know. However, unfortunately for him, unfortunately for me, I guess you could say, we have done a very meticulous job of making sure every nuanced angle of almost every feature on the venue has been captured, color corrected, and placed gently on a hard drive for the consumption of the rider, and there's days to study. So, yes, an advantage, but not a huge one.
Don't be a wimp. Do your homework, riders. You know, that's what it's coming down to here. Who would you like to see on the box this year?
I think Ben Ferguson's going to finally wake up. I mean, he's done well at a few for sure, but I would say that his natural selection results are at all a reflection of like how freaking good that guy is at snowboarding. I think too, we got 10 new riders this year. And I mean, dude, you got like Stahle rolling in. I got to witness firsthand Blake Moeller riding in Jackson, and like, I do not want to go against that guy if I'm lucky enough to make it to finals day. Yeah, I don't know. Who do I got in the box? I would say one of probably 14 guys that are here.
You got a woman that you would like to throw on the box? He's married and he has 2 kids and he's happy. Brooke is amazing.
Well, which is great because I just looked at her. When the minute you asked me that was the beauty part of that. I mean, look, same deal, right? With like Ellery and some of the younger ladies. I think Aya is like going to be one of like the strongest riders. If she can like find her click, she is really good at snowboarding. I think that the way the format works this year too, like the veterans are not going to be able to just like coast through with their, standard bag that's kind of gotten them through in the past. Like everyone's going to have to step it up.
Foot on the gas or you're not going to make it because it's best scores each run.
Yeah.
Travis, thanks for coming on, man. We're a huge fan. Thanks for putting on this event. Thanks for all your hard work. And we're glad you didn't go first on that super park jump and bruise your heels and ruin your career, and somebody else did. 29?
Airtime, first airtime.
Travis will be coming on airtime in 4 years. Stay tuned.
Oh, that is 4 years. Yeah.
Yeah. That's not bad. I'll take it. Honestly, that's a win for me. And until then, subscribe to The Bomb Hole. Great episode. What he says in that is for rookies to spend more time on their in-runs, which I actually often refer to when I don't land my trick because my in-run sucks. And he does. It's a pro tip from Travis on his Bomb Hole episode. Work on your fucking in-runs. Have you seen any of my parts in Sandbox?
Yes, actually.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I've watched some.
That's a wrap. Okay, who am I here with?
You are here with Elena Hight.
How many natural selections have you been in?
Ooh, I think this is my 5th.
When did you start competing?
In what?
Contests.
I started competing in contests when I was 8.
How many big wins have you won? Let's go X Games, World Cups, U.S. Opens, Olympics. Where are you sitting?
No Olympics, 1 X Games, 1 U.S. Open.
Is the X Games in pipe?
The X Games is in pipe. I'm a half pipe rider. Was a half pipe rider. Can't say I'm a half pipe rider anymore.
All half pipe riders are absolutely amazing. Okay, we're going to kick this off with favorite natural selection moment.
Baldface cat ride home after the event.
Why did that moment stick out to you?
We had a really epic cat ride home with the whole crew. Everyone was psyched. The party was going. I think Zoe did a shoey. And
I like that. All right, best style currently and back in the day.
Been riding a lot with Sebi. I think he might have the current best style. And back in the day, I mean, along the same lines, Nicholas Mueller.
Great pick. 10% rule, yes or no?
Absolutely.
Psycho Mike only spent $1,300 last year. He won a Rivian. That's 130 grand. So he's spent $1,300 last year. He's about 9% shy. He's probably about got another 9 grand to spend. Do you think that should get transferred into this event?
Yes, absolutely. He should be spending that on us now, actually. What can he buy us?
You owe the crew 9 grand. Does Dustin Craven have an advantage because he worked on the course all year?
Dustin Craven absolutely has an advantage.
Would you like to see Dustin on the podium?
I would love to see Dustin on the podium. Kootenai King.
Okay, who do you have, men and women's, for the W?
I haven't made bets yet. I don't know. I'm a bystander.
I'm going to go with Elena might do very well. Modest.
There's lots of people I'd like to see up there. I don't have bets out yet, though. I'll come back to you on that one.
Nice. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Jody.
Anything you want to say at the end?
I want to see you on the podium.
So do I. I would love that. But I'm a judge. Okay, who am I here with?
Sage Kotsenburg.
Have you won the Olympics before?
Yes, sir.
Nice job. Okay, favorite natural selection moment?
Dustin Craven winning in Baldface. Easy, dude.
Great pick. Favorite style currently and back in the day?
Favorite style right now? I wasn't ready for this one. I'm kind of rocking with Mateo a lot. A city. Back in the day, I was a lot of influence. I was a big Trevor Andrew guy actually back in the day. That was big influence. Oh, I was also just a Roman DeMarchi guy. That's the double hand drag off lip. That's we loved that growing up. Yeah.
Great picks. Roman, Trevor Andrew, Mateo. Nice. Does the 10% rule need to live on?
100%. Still waiting for Mikey Ciccarelli to drop 10 G's at the bar, dude.
Elena thought the same thing.
No way.
Does Dustin Craven have an advantage because he worked on the course all season?
Yeah. Yeah. A little bit, for sure.
Who do you want to see on the podium, men and women's?
Ideally, it's just me in the middle. I look to my left. I got Nils Mitnick. I look to my right. BMO. Women's, I would love to see Aya get up there. Love to see Elena get up there. And maybe one of the young bucks, Ellery or Estelle. That would be insane.
Sage, you're a legend. We're excited to see you ride. All the best. Any closing remarks?
Airtime over Bombhole.
All day, baby. You hear that, Grenier? We're coming for you. Slow and steady. It's a slow burn. We're a blue chip stock, and we just don't give up. All right, who are we here with?
Harrison Gordon.
Harrison Gordon. What have you been up to these days?
Just checking out the natural selection. It's pretty cool.
Are you a team manager?
I'm a team manager.
Is anybody on the chopping block?
No.
Everybody's sitting pretty right now. Yeah. What about if a couple of your team riders here don't perform?
No, that's all good. We're not super competitive based, but I'm looking forward. I think they have a good chance of doing well.
Do you have one team rider you'd like to see on the podium, or?
Not one rider specifically. I would take either. I just want them to do what they do, have fun. But I think they have a really good chance of doing well.
Favorite natural selection moment?
Favorite natural selection moment? Shit. Okay. No supernatural, no ultra natural. I mean, maybe I bet a lot of people said this, but when Gigi opened it up and then did the front seven.
That is a great answer.
Thank you.
Best style currently and back in the day?
Back in the day, probably for me, Travis Parker, or MFM or Scotty Whitlake. And then today, I would say really like Nick Baden's style. Really like Blake Paul. Obviously, BMO Nils have really good style. They're here, and I think they're gonna do great.
Does the 10% rule need to live on?
Yes, for sure. I think the 10% rule still lives on.
Does Mikey Ciccarelli owe everybody $9,000 because he didn't spend that last year?
I think so. I mean, I'd like to receive some of that, even though I wasn't there and had nothing to do with it. But considering I'm here now, he could definitely buy us some drinks.
No pressure. Does Dustin Craven have an advantage because he worked on the course all year?
I think yes. I think he does have an advantage, but he's also kind of like a dark horse. So I am rooting for him.
Would you like to see him on the podium?
Absolutely, for sure. Yes.
Who do you want to see on the podium, men and women's?
Kind of cheap if I say Blake or Nils. I'd like to see Sevi on the podium. I think he is kind of a personal favorite as well. He could have been in the style question. For the ladies, I'm going to go with Elena, kind of the OG for me, and good style. Yeah.
That was Harrison Gordon, everybody, an absolute legend, now a team manager, and we're all a big fan. Any closing remarks?
Thanks, Jody. Thanks for interviewing me.
Who are we here with?
My name is Jesse Fox.
We got Jesse Fox. I was a big fan because I, at one point, rode for Mission 6, and Jesse was on the pro team, and I absolutely idolized Jesse and the rest of that team. Were you not on the team with Chris Bradshaw?
True.
Simone Chamberlain?
Yeah.
Shane Flood?
Dude. How was I even on that team?
Because you're amazing, dude. Did you watch your part in the Rome movie?
Nobody did.
I did. All right, favorite natural selection moment?
I'm going to have to go with the hometown winners. Mark McMoe's win in Jackson and Mikey Ciccarelli last year here. Those are my two favorite moments, tied for first.
Stellar answer. No, I'm a big fan of both of those two. Huge fan. One of them I like a little bit more. Best style currently, back in the day.
I mean, it's hard to beat Blake Paul. If I'm going with lifestyle, that's Bryn Alexander for sure. No one has a better lifestyle. But yeah, probably Blake. Oh, back in the day, Devin. I think he only got one shot at natural selection, but bring him back.
Does the 10% rule need to live on?
Absolutely. But with this insane prize money, maybe there's like a cap. You know what I mean? Like even real estate agents get capped once the value goes over a certain dollar amount.
Does Dustin Craven have an advantage because he worked on the course all summer?
Yes. And no. Like he's been in his head in it probably since like last July. You know, like when you think about the run you're going to do for over 8 months, it probably turns into a disadvantage.
Well said. Who would you like to see on the box, both men and women? Do you have anybody that you would be hyped to see standing up there?
I got to go with Canadians. It's got to be Bryn. It's got to be Estelle.
Great answers, Jesse. Thank you for coming on. Stay tuned for the full-length episode dropping whenever he says that he wants to come on. Jesse Fox, ladies and gentlemen. Who are we here with?
My name is Jared Elston.
Mechanical Bull, you happy with your performance?
Yeah, I think that was a really epic trip to AK. Yeah, I was stoked on. I think, just really sick to go ride all that stuff.
Who would you want to go back to Alaska with?
I'm going back to Alaska next week with Severin and Elena. They're kind of a dream team. So yeah,
that's a fucking stellar team. Who's the filmer?
My brother Jonah.
No way.
Yeah. Epic full dream team. 4 people in the heli. It's perfect.
Hit me with the photographer.
No photog. I'm sorry. Ollie and fucking Andrew Miller are going to hate me, but yeah, I don't know. I think we're just going to try and get more laps with 3 riders and 1 filmer. That's kind of the idea, is to just snowboard more, and unfortunately only 4 seats in the heli, so.
Mechanical Bull, Jared Elston, on Torment. An amazing film. Go watch that shit. That was fucking amazing. All right. Favorite natural selection moment?
Probably Dustin winning Baldface a couple years ago. That was pretty epic. I like that. That was a fun time for everyone involved.
Favorite style currently and back in the day?
I feel like Nico's kind of the answer for both still. I don't really know. He's always been the best, I feel like.
Does the 10% rule need to live on?
Yes.
Does Mikey Ciccarelli still owe everybody $9,000 at the bar?
Yes.
Sorry, Psycho. Everybody is speaking on this. And we're back because I ran out of iCloud storage. Here we are with Big Air Jer. 10% does live on. And we've moved on to, does Dustin Craven have an advantage because he worked on the course all year?
It's technically what we call cheating. Yes, I think so. He'll be the first to admit that, you know.
So would you be happy to see him on the podium or not so much?
You're always happy to see Dustin on the podium, no matter what.
Correct answer. We are in Revelstoke. All right. Who do you want to see win? Men and women's.
Who do I want to see? I'd like to win myself for sure. I think I'm a big fan of everyone involved, and everyone's capable of taking it. So, no real favorites. I'm just excited to watch it all unfold.
You got a dark horse or anybody?
I think the story, if Bryn takes it, I think that's just a total Cinderella story. If you hate it on that, then I don't know what you're doing.
Crush it, buddy. Have fun. Yeah. All right. Who are we here with?
Patrick Bridges.
Okay, Pat. What are you doing these days? How are you involved in snowboarding?
I own a media company, and we hold events, and we make magazines, and do a lot of social, digital, make movies. So, yeah, it's a media platform in the snowboarding world called Slush.
Pat, on behalf of all of snowboarding, thank you for everything you've ever done. I'm a huge fan.
Well, that might be a little hyperbole. I can name at least 5 people who do not want to thank me, but I want to thank you. I'm literally, physically a huge fan of yours.
I'm a huge fan of Pat Bridges. He put me on the map, and I like what he was doing for snowboarding back then, and I think that if only Slush could do Super Park again, the same way they did back in the day when they would tap people out.
We stopped tapping people out a long time ago, but people like Pat Moore and Dustin Craven like to keep the dream alive. They keep kill the dream alive, so to speak. But did you and I go on a trip? Have we been on a couple trips, like DC trips?
Yeah.
To Pennsylvania? Yeah, that was awesome.
That was amazing. That was the first time Devin Walsh said I had a nice backside 180, and I was like, I'm good. My back 180'd over a hip, and Devin at Seven Springs was like, that was a sick back 180, and that was a career highlight for me. Moving on here, though, what was one of your favorite moments at Natural Selection?
Watching Dustin's run in Boulder Park 2 years ago. It was what the event was made to watch, That was my favorite moment.
Very well said. Best style currently and back in the day?
It's so subjective.
Just on the top of your head. You don't need to stress about it. Couple names.
Okay, I think Terry Kidwell had insane style, and I have a crazy story about Kidwell, where some other very, very, very legendary people, when I was like 17 years old, I was on the deck of a pipe behind them, and they're like, God, we got to stop shooting on the backside wall for goofy footers, because if Terry's riding, we're never going to get a shot. Terry Kidwell. And then Danny Davis, always been a big fan of. Style and Life, always a fan of like Craven. He's an incredible individual. And Louis Paradis.
Wow. Great picks. I'm a big fan of all of those snowboarders. Should the 10% rule live on?
Well, with the current economy of snowboarding, I think the 10% rule is hard to live up to. But then again, 10% rule might cover, with the way prize money is, might cover your paid parking at the event. So I think it should. What we used to do at all of our events, and even at Super Park, and we started at the World Quarters, is we'd take the prize purse and we'd take 10% out before we even gave it to the rider. And we just give it right to the bar on their behalf. And that's how you ensure that it happens.
We just interviewed Travis Rice, and Travis was talking about an iconic clip that you were there for, a backside rodeo he did at Super Park. He was claiming it was first try. Do you support that claim?
No, his first hit was a backside 180. And then he did the backside rodeo the second time.
Oh, I think he was saying that he back rodeoed it first try, but he did back one it first. I think that's what he said. But it was first try? The back rodeo was first try?
No, the backside 180 was first try. The back rodeo was the second try.
But if it was one try for the back rodeo, he didn't have to battle it.
Oh, no. I mean, listen, at the time, particularly that feature, I don't know if anybody who didn't land got a second try. It's one of those jumps.
Okay, because you're here and I'm a huge fan of Super Park and everything it did for snowboarding, let's get two standout moments that aren't the backside rodeo or Kurt Wastell's back three.
Okay, one of them was when Andrew Hardingham begged his way out of the drunk tank to go up on the hill so he could jump off of a jump tabletop takeoff and shit hook it to the right and goalpost through the trees because there was fresh pow there. And that was like 60 feet away. And photographers put their cameras down because they're like E Stone's like, I don't want to shoot somebody dying. So they that was one of them. And there's a long list. Hardingham could have his own list. And then I would say, speaking of which, another person who got out of jail to come to Super Park to make history, Scott Blum getting the alley-oop, Andrecht, gloves off, popped up from 12 feet below the lip and aired up to the lip on a 24-foot high wall ride. That was the other one.
Do you feel that Dustin Craven was a little bummed when he got the hand plant on the coping?
The day before, Craven's like, I got to leave. I got to go party and go to the rave up in Whistler. And I'm like, well, Blum's going to show up tomorrow. And everything I did to try and get you on that coping, I'm going to do for him to get on that coping. And Craven goes, Blum, there's no way in hell Blum's going to get coping. So good luck with that. I'm out. And next thing you know, Blum's on the cover.
I watched that one live. It was epic. Dustin working on the course, do you think that gives him an advantage?
I mean, you got to say yes. How does it not give him an advantage, and stuff? So, but yeah, I would say yeah.
Who do you want to see on the box this year, men and women's?
I mean, I'd always want to see Dustin, but I don't want to make this all about Dustin. I got a feeling about Bryn. I think Bryn Alexander, and particularly dropping first. Something tells me that Blake Muller's going to do real well because I just think he lands. He just knows how to put it down and land on it. For the women's side, I actually think this could be I think Elena's going to show up for it on the women's side. I also think it'll be interesting to see how some of the younger, newer riders do in the mix on it. I think Ellery's going to do really well as well. It gets real tough to figure out who that final spot's going to be. But, I mean, it is, as we've seen in the past, anybody.
Okay, one rider that you've always wanted to see at natural selection.
I've been involved in selection before, and I've wanted to see Terrier at times and stuff. I think he'd do incredible. I also got to say, I'm super stoked Giggy is back this year. I think that's awesome. I think Terrier is one of them. And then, but there's a lot of other riders that could do well. At one point with the duels in Japan, I was like, let's get Tadashi in the mix. That name came up and stuff. I also think, especially right now, given the clips that have come out this week, I really wish John Jackson had gotten a chance at the big show because he's got an extra gear. He's insane. Jonathan Moore, maybe. There's two other people. I think Mark Frank Montoya, if it was on Scary Cherry, because it's all straight fall line and it's kind of manicured, I think Mark Frank Montoya open starter jacket could have been insane, particularly in Boulder Park. I really would have liked to seen Morgan Coonhead Rose have a go at that because he would, and I think he would have been insane. I think Coonhead would have sent it. I don't think he would have landed, but I also don't. I don't think he would have died.
We would have needed some long lines for sure. Pat, on behalf of everybody in snowboarding, thank you for everything you do. Follow Slush for everything, Pat Bridges. Pat, you're the man. Any last words
Thank
here?
you. I was honored when you asked me to do one of your podcasts, and I immediately Googled what's a podcast, and then I enjoy everything you do. It's awesome.
That means the most.
Dano's was insane. I love Dano's.
Okay, who am I here with?
My name's Liam Griffin.
What is your role here at Natural Selection?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Operations, I don't know.
Favorite Natural Selection moment?
Oh, geez. Probably AK year one, Chris Rosman dropping on DFC first run at Sunrise. It was one of the most insane moments of my entire snowboard career.
Why isn't Chris Rasman back this year? He always comes back somehow.
Because he was in the bottom half of the field and didn't requalify.
Performance, Chris. We're looking for better performance.
He's been involved in other ways. He's helped me out. He answers the phone when I call. When I need help in the most random way, I call Chris Rosman. He will answer and he will hook up whatever it is I need. And I don't need anything right now, so that's why he's not here.
Best style currently and back in the day.
Ooh, I mean, this season, Sevi for me. And back in the day, Nico. So double locks.
Does the 10% rule need to live on?
Yes.
Does Mikey Ciccarelli owe us all a little bit more money for winning a Rivian last year then?
I don't know how badly he was taxed on it, so maybe not 10%. I'd be cool with 5.
Do you feel that Dustin Craven has an advantage because he worked on the course all summer?
100% yes.
Who would you like to see stand on this podium this year, men and women's?
Bryn Alexander. Ooh, and the women's. I want to see some new blood up there. Although Elena Hight is my favorite. Tune in, because it's going to be insane.
Tune in, subscribe, hit the bell. Natural Selection, Snow, and then follow everything else. Liam Griffin, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Dustin, are you ever going to come on the podcast?
No.
I tried, everybody, so stop DMing me. Okay, next question. Favorite Natural Selection moment?
I feel like Mickles won Valdez run Switchback 5. No, actually, the craziest moment, Natural Selection moment, was the year we camped in the Turdillos, and maybe it was semifinals run, like one of Travis's semifinals run. It's like he'd obviously ridden the run before, but it's like he came over the ridge flying, and it was like riding like 10 times harder than anyone. It was just like you're just like it was like watching the greatest, like something you've actually seen a video part, and you're like, and he just flies over the ridge, and everyone else is like riding like spines, and he's just like, boom, like cab 5 off the ridge or something, and then just like backflip, fucking butter, huge 3. It was like,
That's why he's Travis Rice. Favorite style currently and back in the day?
I mean, like Renee is insane. Like watching him like do basically like breezy stuff, but with like a whole crazy level of style is like, it's like I don't care to watch street parts, and I've watched his movie like 4 or 5 times.
Does the 10% rule need to live on?
Yeah, I think it does actually. Like we were, I think you were there when we were like no one was doing it anymore, obviously. And then Elena, when we were in Alaska, like had cleaned up the whole season pretty much and won overall. And we were like sitting around at this dinner that we thought Natural Selection was paying for, and then it ended up it wasn't being paid for, and we'd all ordered like at market price crab legs. And you're in Alaska, you're like, oh, this is gonna be cheap. Market price was not cheap. It was like our bill for like 6 people was like $4,000 or something with booze. And Elena just kind of looked around, and she's just like,
well, I haven't done this for a while, so I got this. And I was like, nice.
Does Mikey Ciccarelli owe everybody $9,000 because last year he won a Rivian and didn't spend 10%?
I think you'd have to talk to the missus about that. I don't know if he's in charge. I don't think he balances the checkbook.
Does Dustin Craven have an advantage because he worked on the course all season?
I mean, there's always an advantage to doing more work.
Great response. Who do you want to see on the podium?
I kind of feel like, even though everyone hates him, Big Air Jer is kind of like my pick for number one this year. He wants it really bad. He works really hard, and I think he's one of my picks. I feel like Brandon Blake Moeller are kind of like my dark horses. I feel like either of them could sweep. It's nice. I don't know. I feel like the West Venue qualifiers is a bit more freestyle, so I think it'll be kind of cool to because I think like Mikkel and Ben and those guys could ride lines really hard. Are going to go more freestyle, and it's always cool when you see those guys where you're rule them out as more of gnarly line riders, and then they just do freestyle, and you're like, oh, they're actually way better than everyone at that too.
Dustin, we're all a huge fan. We all hope to see you on the podium.
Oh yeah, me. I'll be on the box.
And Dustin will be on the box.
I'm going box or body bag this year.
Nice. Thanks, Dustin. Have a blast. All right, who am I here with?
Estelle Pensiero.
Favorite natural selection moment?
So far this year? I like that we each pick our own walk-up song.
Okay, so your father, who has helped many snowboarders, but he also created a great lodge, Baldface Lodge. What's your favorite run at Baldface?
Oh, good question. My favorite run is Pachinko.
Who has rode Baldface the best? Who's the best shredder who's ever come to Baldface?
Nicholas Mueller.
Favorite style right now, currently, and back in the day?
I like Cannon style. Right now, when I drop in, I try to imagine that I'm going to ride like Cannon. Back in the day, Devin Walsh, maybe?
Correct answer. Does the 10% rule need to live on?
Yeah, for sure. Except for, unfortunately, these days, 10% is like $5, but whatever. No, I'm just kidding. I just wish I lived in the $100,000 third place era of snowboarding.
So if you win 25 grand here at Natural Selection USD, that translates to probably like 50 grand Canadian.
Yeah, true.
Are you going to spend $5,000 at the bar if you win?
Yeah, of course I am.
Legend. Does Dustin Craven have an advantage because he worked on the course all year?
Yeah, probably. If I worked on the course all year, I would build myself the perfect line. But he gave me some good tips. He's a team player. He built it for everyone, but he really built it for himself. Sorry, go ahead.
Who do you want to see win men and women's?
Well, I'm not going to say I want to see myself win women's, but obviously I want to see myself win. And for men's, I don't know. I don't know who I want to see.
She doesn't know who she wants to see.
I don't know.
Any closing remarks?
Nope.
What's your strategy?
Fuck, I'm sorry. I'm really bad at interviews.
She's doing a great job. That's Estelle Pensiero, everybody. She's an absolute legend. She's going to rip, and thanks for coming on.